Welcome to Streaming Idiots. I'm Tom Sinclair, the chief idiot, bringing you another exciting episode of Streaming Idiots. Tell you what, we're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to talk about chat rooms today. It's going to be great. Tune in. We'll be right back. I tell you what, life is good, isn't it? Gee whiz, gee whiz. I love that music. It makes me happy. Music has a great effect on folks. It really does. Really does. I'm Tom Sinclair. I'm, sort of the head idiot here at Streaming Idiots. And the purpose of this show is to help you with whatever your passion is, that you want to get your passion out, your message out to across your town, across the street, across the state, the country, the territory, the province, across the world. No better way to do it than put it online, either live or recorded, or both, and let folks watch it and develop your audience and make friends all over the world. It is a ton of fun. It really is. And so the purpose here is for us to show you some of the basics, some of the intermediate stuff, and some of the more advanced stuff to improve your broadcast. A lot of people say, well, what is it that you do? Well, it's kind of like TV, but it's on the internet, but sometimes you can put it on your TV, but I think we're just going to call it broadcasting. We're just going to call it broadcasting. Oh, what channel? Well, it's on the internet. Yeah. So it's broadcasting. It's broadcasting. Today we're going to talk about, broadcasting in the traditional network sense has been, I would say, has been one-way communications. You turn on ABC and you watch. You turn on CBS, ESPN, and you watch. What if your audience could participate in the show and say, hey, you forgot to turn your mic on. Hey, what do you mean it's $9? I can buy it over here for $3. That would be cool. Well, there is. And if you probably already know, you've probably already discovered something like that. But it's called a chat room. And a chat room is a piece of software somewhere where you can type in a message and the message appears in a forum sense, but kind of live, interactive, and everybody can chat back and forth. I've got a chat room set up for today's show. You want to see it? I'll show it to you. This is today's chat room. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, we've got more people than that in the chat room. Because I told them, I told them we were going to use chat here, and all of a sudden all these guys their names just disappeared. All these guys with warrants out there for their arrest, like that Campbell guy out of South Carolina. I got to look out for him. All of a sudden all those people disappeared. No, I'm teasing. Some people have a desire to remain somewhat anonymous, and I understand that and appreciate that. So we gave them a chance to log out of the chat room before we started this show. But these bold, brave souls stayed. And we're chatting about, and we actually also deleted all our chats that we'd had before, so we've just had this chat going in the last few minutes. And some brave folks have chatted there. And you can see that on the right side of the screen, I don't know if you can see my mouse very well, on the right side of the screen is a list of all the folks that are in the chat room. This chat room is produced by a company called Chatwing. I don't know if you can see it up here in the top left-hand corner. ChatWing.com. And my chat room on Chatwing is chatwing.com/TVB Guy, the VidBlaster Guy. That's me. So this is my chat room. And here's the biggest news of all. You know how much it cost? You know how much it cost? No. Yes, it's free. That's right. It's free. It's great. And one of the things that I love about this chat room the best is that it works on your phone. You can go to your phone right now. You don't have to download any special software. You don't have to get a special browser that shows Flash. If you're on Android, it works. And I love that. I was trying to watch a show yesterday, and I couldn't watch it. I mean, I couldn't see the chat because chat did Flash, and my phone didn't do Flash. And I finally, searched around for a while and found a browser that would do Flash. What was the browser called? It was pretty cool. Hang on a second here. I've got it right here. Called FlashFox. That was a free download. And then I could view this particular show's chat because the chat was using an IRC client that apparently only displays in Flash. And so I was frustrated at first, and I missed 10 or 15 minutes of the show trying to get all that stuff worked out. But Chatwing works first time every time on an Android. I don't have an Apple, so somebody that's using an Apple phone will have to tell me whether it works there or not. But it's great. It's user configurable. All the colors. Don't you love the colors? I picked out those colors. Yes, I did. And if you want to type something in, you just come into the bottom and click right here and then type in your message. So we would say, oops, helps if you can spell. We can say hello to the world. And you can see that there's my message. It popped right up there, hello to the world. And so we've got lots of folks in the chat room, and some of them are chatting about. One of the folks in the chat room today, and Al, I'm not going to make fun of you, but Al Bunt from Good Shepherd Church broadcasts his church services, and he uses a chat. And a lot of times during the course of the chat, folks, of course, that are watching and chatting are not in church, but they want to participate, and so they watch. And they also want to participate, and so they might type into the chat a prayer request. And Al says that this happens quite a bit. And so one of the things that he would like to be able to do is to capture the chat and print it out, record it, text it, forward it by email to somebody, something like that, so that the prayer request can be forwarded on to the proper person. And I'm thinking there are probably dozens of other uses besides just prayer requests in churches, but that was a great example. And so let me show you how you do that in Chatwing. It's really pretty easy. What we'll do is we'll go to the Chatwing dashboard, and I've already got a window up on that. And let me refresh the messages so you can see down here at the bottom. There we go. These are the messages that have come in. I've got 9 messages here. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to export those to a PDF file. So let's press export. And this may be our ones from earlier. Let's see. Let's just refresh that screen. I think this is our list from earlier. Let's see. No, maybe not. Well, let's check. Nope, there it is. That was pretty quick. So there's my last post right up there at the top. Hello to the world. And all the other posts that were going on that showed the name, how they logged in, whether it's Chatbook or Twitter or Facebook or whatever, their IP address, the content of their message, and the date. And that can be saved as a PDF file and sent someplace. So you've got the ability to have that information recorded, and we did it by using export, and then we downloaded it to our hard drive here. That's pretty cool. And apparently we've also got options for CSV, JSON, and XML in addition to the PDF, and we can do today's file, yesterday's, last week's, last month's, custom, etc. So that's pretty cool, and that's Chatwing, which is chatwing.com, and is a great way to do a chat. Now, why would you want to do a chat? Well, sometimes you don't want to do a chat. Sometimes if you're passing along information, you might not care to do a chat. Other times in shows like this, where we have an audience and the audience has a lot of input, has questions, if you know me for a while, they probably have corrections to make. And by the way, guys, we're done displaying the chat, so if you want to log back in now, it's okay. It got mighty quiet in the chat all of a sudden. But it's a great way to encourage folks to participate with you in whatever it is you're doing. And again, having feedback is a great thing too. I've been doing chats since I think we very first started this show. And this is probably the third version of chat that we've used. And somebody in the chat, now that they know they're not going to be displayed anymore, I'm not going to tell you who wrote this post. It's, hey mom, through the chat room, I made it to that VidBlaster Guy's video broadcast. No, really, my name was on the screen. Yeah, you missed it. Sorry, we're not going back to that. And Al says that church viewers can interact live with each other and also with the congregation if you're having a Bible study. That's right. They do a small group Bible study, and they broadcast it live so the people that can't physically be there, either because they're traveling or out of town, or because they're homebound, can participate. And they can, either themselves or have somebody type in a question or a comment. People that are there in the room where the broadcast is being made can even talk to their friends that can't be present. You could do the same thing with Google Plus in a Hangout, but a lot of times folks that are infirm don't necessarily want their picture out there for everybody to see, because then they got to get their makeup on and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times their technology skills are not that high. And so it might raise the bar so high that they would never ever participate. But a text chat can be a great way to participate at a kind of a low level, where you're not putting yourself at risk visually anyway. So I think that's a great use of it. Here, I love it because I've developed a real rapport. A lot of the guys in chat I've never physically met, but I've talked to on the phone, and we certainly chatted a bunch. And there's a rare occasion where one or two of them I've actually met in person. And when I do, I feel like this is an old friend that I've been talking to for years, and we share a lot of the same interests. So I would encourage you, as you are thinking about starting a new broadcast, or if you've already got a broadcast, you may want to think about using a chat. Now, one of the times in the past that I've done chat that I was not at all pleased with the way it happened, and if you know me, I like to give you full disclosure, both sides of the issue. And that was we were doing some soccer matches. That's what it was. And we announced to the home team, which was our team, and to the visiting team that we were doing the broadcast. And while we were on the broadcast, we mentioned the chat room, and then of course there was a link to the chat there on the broadcast page. And so we had some folks from, I assume they were from the opposing team, that got into the chat room and were using some language that wasn't appropriate and just being obnoxious. And it was at that point that I said, oh, okay, well, there's got to be a way to pull the plug on these people, to ban them or flag them or something. And I looked into the software, and that particular software didn't have the ability to do it. And so I found one that did, but it was so complicated to use. It was just, and this is not what I wanted to do, spend all my time on. I wanted to spend my time getting a better video picture, improving my sound quality, improving my graphics. Struggling with a chat was not where I wanted to put, a couple extra hours. And then I found Chatwing, and Chatwing allowed me to have the tools built into the software to very easily ban people. I remember last year when we started using Chatwing for the first time, my good friend Dr. Charles Campbell volunteered to be somebody that would be banned temporarily just so he could report back on the banned experience. And once we got him banned, doggone it, we couldn't get him unbanned. Poor Charles, he was banned from the forum for a couple of weeks until we figured out how to plug him back in. I'm not really sure that we figured it out. It may have just straightened himself out. And then Al's comment here in the chat room too, which is absolutely the fact, is you need good moderators. You need people that are just reading the chat, not necessarily participating in the broadcast, but have the ability to moderate. And some of the chats also, and I think Chatwing does too, has the ability to set up a list of words that it simply won't display. Let me see if I can go back over there to that, and I'll show you what we've got here. Let me go over to that screen, and this is the dashboard. General options. Let's see if it's there. No, it's not there. Message filters. There we go. So I can filter names. I can filter messages. I can create a filter. I can add words to the filter. I can exempt people from the filter. I can also create a list of moderators. And allow them to delete messages or block users, view IPs, all that kind of thing. And I can add a blacklist where I can ban people. And as you can see, we don't have anybody on our list. Most of the folks here are pretty well behaved. But we did have a time in the past where we had some folks that came into the chat room here for that VidBlaster Guy and were just being obnoxious. I think it was probably a bunch of teenagers. Let's see. One of the questions in the chat room about Chatwing is, can you embed it? And let's see if we can find that answer really easily. We'll take just a second. Use chat box. Let's see if there's something there to use. There's the short URL and the full URL. Embedding options. There you go, John. And you can embed it by width and height. Here's the code that will go in for JavaScript, for iframe. So there you go. Yes, you can embed it. Now, people have asked me before, well, Tom, why don't you have the chat room embedded in your website? And the reason is because I want my picture to be as big as possible. No, I'm just teasing. Oh, let's put the background back there. There you go. I want it, especially if we're demoing something and there's a product. I want you to have as much ability to see that as possible, so that if you want to go full screen with it, you can, or if you want to go nearly full screen, you can, and then you can pop up the chat room and you can configure it and put it up in the top right-hand corner if you want to, or move it down to the bottom, or whatever's comfortable with you. So that we use our chat. If you've seen our website, go to that vidblasterguy.com, go to Live Now, and then in the text there's a chat option, and if you right-click on the chat link, you have the ability to set the chat up in its own window, and that way you can move the window around wherever you want to. I'm not technologically savvy in websites to know how to make it pop out, so opening it in its own window is the same thing. Now, you can put it right next to your website if you want to. Some people like to do pop-out chat. Some people like to do pop-out videos. Some people like to do both. So I guess you could do it that way too. I don't know if it pops out automatically. Doesn't look like it does. That's probably a function of your website. Oh, check that. Spoke too soon. Something over here called pop-out options. Let's see. It's going to buzz and click and whir for a second. And doesn't seem to want to show us pop-out options this afternoon. Oh, well. We'll let that buzz and click for another second and see if we can come back to it. And maybe it'll show us what that is. So that not only can you embed it, you can also make it pop out. I might try that. That might be fun, a little different look. So my recommendation, and I haven't used a lot of them. I'm not an expert in this field. I'm an idiot, and that's the beauty of this show is if I can do it, you can do it, because I'm an idiot, and it's just the bar is not set very high here, folks. And so if I'm going to be able to do it, and you say, well, if Tom can do it, I can do it. That's exactly what I want. I want you to know that this is something that you can do, that it's not too difficult, and that and if you screw it up, then you're dumber than me. No, I'm teasing. Let's refresh this other page here and see if it'll go where it's supposed to go. There, here we go. Pop out options. We'll go back in. Pop out options. So we got width, height, top left radius, top right radius, bottom right radius, left right radius, font size, content, color, background, and then we have our codes. And then I guess it shows us the chat here. So if we were to make that bigger, yeah, it's going to make it bigger. So that's how our button would go. That's pretty neat. So it's nice and and you can round out the button if you want to even make it. Would it make it completely round? Oh, look at that. Oh, how fun. Be the first one on your block with a round chat button. Font size. There you go. And the content would be chat with us. Oh, but it doesn't automatically. All right, so we have to make it wider. There we go. Chat with us. How about that? And then, of course, you can change your background. You know me, I'm a black kind of guy. So I'll take the black. There you go. And there's your button. And here's your JavaScript. And I'm not a website guy, so I don't know what JavaScript is. So you'll have to work that one out on your own. So there you go. Pop-out options, embed options, group chat URL, message history. All that stuff is present in Chatwing, chatwing.com. Definitely gets my recommendation. Thumbs up for me from Chatwing. Yep. So we might try that. Checking the chat here to see what I might have missed. Somebody's posted a link here. And do we dare open this link during a show? I think we do. Why not? Al's posted a link. And if it's relatively tame, we'll show it to you. Oh, well, yeah, that's pretty relatively tame. That's the show. There it is. You never know what you're going to get when you open a link from Al Bunt. Oh, goodness. All right. So that's, again, not an exhaustive search. I like to find something that works. Once I find something that works, I stay with it. I don't tend to shop around a whole lot after the fact. So Chatwing worked for me. I encourage you guys to do that. We will continue in future shows to talk about more aspects of broadcast. Some simple, some not so simple. Coming up during the summer, I think we're going to do a Rumble. We're going to have VidBlaster, vMix, probably a Wirecast, and a free-for-all. So come on and join us when we do our video mixer Rumble. and compare and contrast those guys and see how they work, and price versus feature versus ease of use. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll review those and try to be as honest as we can. Full disclosure, I am an authorized reseller for VidBlaster and for vMix, and have an application in with Wirecast. So if you're interested in any or all of those products, I'd be happy to talk with you about providing those to you. And also, if you're interested in having a custom PC built for streaming, we do that also, and be delighted to talk with you about that. We've had a lot of success in placing those throughout the country and throughout North America. So that's it for this show. Let's see if I missed anything in chat, anything of importance, let's put it that way. We have always some people who think that they have a sense of humor. Oh, I'm teasing John. Anyway, on behalf of all of us here at Streaming Idiots, I'm Tom Sinclair, the head idiot, definitely the head idiot. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you this afternoon, and as Al Bunt said, it's a great topic. I'm glad we thought of it, and I'm glad we did too. We'll catch you next week. By the way, if you're following this show and you watch it live or you don't watch it live, I mean, it's available on YouTube. You have to go to that VidBlaster Guy channel to find it. And if you follow the show, we release these shows on YouTube on Fridays. We tape them live to tape on Wednesday afternoon. So if you want to watch us live, it's Wednesday afternoon, about 3:30 Eastern, 8:30 London, 12:30 Moscow, and 5:30 a.m. Thursday in Melbourne, or something like that. Anyway, and I say about because it ends up being the second segment of our broadcast that day. The first segment is that VidBlaster Guy, which is our other show that appears at 3 o'clock Eastern. Delighted to have you. Welcome back anytime. The welcome mat's already out. If I can help you, if you think I can help you with a question, shoot me an email. It's tom@streamingidiots.com, and I'd be happy to help. Generally, one question will help you work it through. If it's a more elaborate problem, or if you've got a scheme that you want to work up, or if you want, a consultant that can come in and work with you, we would have to charge you for the extra time. But one question we're always happy to answer if it's just an exchange of emails. So, Tom Sinclair, on behalf of all the streaming idiots out there, thanks for tuning in, and we're going to send you out with our all-time favorite background music from Streaming Idiots. So, we'll see you next time.